Welcome to the Push Play podcast recorded April 10th, 2025. Our first in a new podcast, but not the first that Jess and I have done. If you're an old-time Cord Cutters News fan, you probably remember in 2019, we did a weekly podcast. It's great to have Jess back. Jess, welcome back to Cord Cutters News and the YouTube channel.
Thank you. We're so back. I've got my mug. I'm ready to go.
Oh, no, I don't. I have just a glass of water. I have failed.
You know,
I have failed us.
Some of us are just more dedicated to this podcast.
Honestly, true. Guilty. But no, it's good to have us here. We're going to be diving into the world of cord cutting, streaming, players, but we're also going to talk a lot about just entertainment, dive into what's happening in the world of TV, movies, and the like, and break it all down for you right here every week at thecordcuttersnews.com, youtube.com/cordcuttersnews. I don't know, maybe we put out an audio podcast version at some point. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. But for the Push Play podcast with Luke and Jess. So Jess, where have you been hiding? I've
been around, checking in, jumping into the Facebook group here and there. So I stayed with Cord Cutters, and most of you still know that. I was popping up in some live streams, some Q&As, keeping an eye on the Facebook group for quite a while. And then I was at TV Guide for a while, just kind of bopping around, going to a few places, and then came back home, as we've been saying, and here I am.
So some people know, but there's a lot of new people here. So I sold Cord Cutters News back in 2020. And at the time, we had like 160-ish subscribers on YouTube. And now I bought it back and I've grown it a lot. And it's now like at the time of this recording, 312,000 or so. So some of you may not remember Jess, but Jess and I did it. Jess did a lot of stuff here. And after I sold, you ran it for a little while under the new owners before I bought it back. So yeah, so you're back. We're happy. And the entertainment is ready to come back, more YouTube videos. So one of the things we've been doing a lot more of is videos on YouTube. And that's going to become more and more common. You're going to see more content on this channel. So make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us here at cordcuttersnews.com, not just for these weekly podcasts, but for the daily cord cutting today's reviews, tips, tricks, and a whole lot more. But we want to hear from you. What do you want to see in a podcast? We'll probably be opening up the mailbag in future episodes, so look for ways to submit your content with that as we dive into it. But, hey, Jess, couple questions for you first.
Let's go. All
right. How long have you been a cord cutter? I'm going to catch you off guard because I didn't tell her these were coming.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm being pop quizzed. Cord cutter forever, honestly, ever since I've been on my own. So in college, no cable, I don't think. And then ever since I've been an adult, I've just been streaming. So started out with Plex, where I was keeping all of my digital copies of TV shows and movies, and then Hulu, and I've just been streaming ever since.
You know, for me, I was thinking it's been about 13, 14 years now. This month, actually in a few days when we're recording this, will mark 11 years since I started Cord Cutters News.
Wow, crazy.
But I started before that, and we used to be a DirecTV customer, but DirecTV started charging us $115 a month just for the TV. And we were, new out of college, married, kid, all that fun stuff. So money had to go, and started Cord Cutters News and got active, and then started the site just as like a hobby to share my thoughts on cord cutting, how I did it, and never expected it to be millions and millions of people every month and over 1 million views on YouTube. Never, ever thought this would happen, but it's kind of cool.
But we're happy it did.
Yeah. I was thinking, there's been a lot of fun times. One of the ones that really sticks out to me running the site is, remember our CES 2020, right before the world broke apart. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the Amazon party we went to?
Do I remember? Anytime I have to play a game where they want me to tell a fun fact about myself, it's that Guy Fieri served me a shot of tequila in a champagne glass while I was standing next to Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, I remember Shaquille stirred it, like Guy Fieri came out and
crazy.
I don't know if Amazon has got the money to do this anymore, but they threw a party for press. It was, when you go to CS every night, all these companies have these different parties. You can bounce around and do different things. We went to ones for all were different companies. But the Amazon, for one, they had like this was like the start of the robots. They had like robotic popcorn making machines where you could get popcorn all robotically made. Nowadays, there's like ice cream vending machines that do this. But back then, that was kind of new. I remember that. But then they were like, oh, we're going to do a little presentation. And, you walk around all the booths and they got like all the cars with the Alexa built in and like Fire TVs over in this corner and like a makeshift living room. And then, so you're walking around checking out all their different displays, and Guy Fieri comes out and it's like, oh, I'm gonna make everybody a drink. And he's like mixing all this stuff, and then he goes, I need somebody to stir this. Who's here that's a big guy that can help me stir this huge drink? And then Shaquille O'Neal comes out the back, and they start. He mixes it, and then I think they both went around serving it.
They did, but I don't know if they ran out of cups or if I just had an empty glass in my hand, but I ended up with a shot of tequila or whatever it was in my champagne glass.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. Because, let's be honest, the main point of these events is they want all the press to come and look at all their stuff. But, usually when there's like a celebrity, they kind of like, oh yeah, and I've been at a Hulu thing where like Mindy was there once, or, what's her name? The star of The Handmaid's Tale. Blonde
Elizabeth
hair.
Moss.
Yeah. Didn't talk to her, but she was there and different stuff. And they were like, oh, yeah, come meet the star of The Handmaid's Tale.
Well, I have to ask, did you talk to Shaquille O'Neal while we were there?
I did not.
I sure did.
Did you?
Well, okay, I was looking at the Alexa-enabled car that they had on display, and I hear this voice behind me say, you should get into that car. And I turn around, and there's Shaquille O'Neal towering above me. You all probably don't know this. I'm only 5'2". Shaquille O'Neal was literally looking down on me, telling me to hop into the Amazon car.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, you gotta look. Those things are fun. Now, I will say, since 2020, the conventions I've been at, there's not as many things like this anymore. It seems like a lot of that's been kind of...
Oh, well, can we talk about the other big announcement from CES 2020?
Yeah.
The very popular, still very much existing Quibi.
Oh yeah, that's still going strong, right? Because we were told that we were wrong, that was the future of television, no matter what we said. Remember that? I
will tell you that for years after, we would figure out the amount of time something lasted. We would measure it in Quibis, and we would talk about how many Quibis a streaming service lasted.
Now, here's the question. Did Quibi go first? Which was, okay, let's back up for people who don't remember that. That was a streaming service from Jeffrey Katzenberg, I believe, right? Who basically wanted to do YouTube, but high quality and subscription. Because it's like these, I think his problem is he grew up in a big town. He took public transportation. Doesn't understand most people are not on public transportation. They aren't pulling out their phone while they're on the subway or in a taxi.
Yeah, so he wanted you to be able to watch things in very short increments while you were in the middle of doing something else.
And every episode had to be under 10 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was kind of cool. There was one cool thing is that you could hold your phone horizontal and see one version of it and then turn it vertically. And some shows required you to twist your phone to get like a full appreciation of what was happening in the scene. But that died in a couple months, right?
Right. The pandemic really did not help that situation at all. Whenever all of a sudden we were all home and in front of our TVs, I'm not going to watch something on my phone if I can watch it on my TV.
But I honestly think even if it wasn't for that, most people are not. I mean, if you're trying to watch something short, you're watching YouTube for free,
right?
But B, the fact I think later they try to bring it as a last ditch to TVs, but most people want to watch stuff on their TV, not on their phone. Yeah,
well, a little behind the scenes for all of you listening or watching, Luke and I did not have high hopes for Quibi.
So, no, and I had a PR person a little less than happy about that.
I completely agree. Let's not get ourselves in trouble by talking any more about that. But then the Roku channel bought the Quibi content, so I did end up watching some Quibi content.
The Reno 911 stuff is still there, pretty good. Then there was CNN Plus. Again, I don't think we had very high hopes for CNN Plus.
No, we didn't. No, just tie it into a different service, which they eventually kind of.
And I think Quibi outlasted CNN Plus. I think that was the next smallest.
Oh yeah, we measured that in like a 3/4 of a Quibi, I think.
Then this one happened when I wasn't around. You're going to have to fill me in this. T-Mobile launched a live TV streaming service. Anybody remember this? They bought PlayStation View's TV rights and launched a package, but then ran into trouble with the package lineup or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there was. I won't get into all of the nitty-gritty details because only nerds like you and I care about what happened behind the scenes. But I think the problem was they had 2 packages. One was cheaper. They wanted to move some channels to the more expensive package. The people who owned those channels weren't happy about that, and that's how everything kind of fell apart.
And I from what I've seen, it didn't look like many people subscribed to it. The pricing was not bad, but it wasn't enough that I think that would drive people away from what they already had.
Well, I think the problem was they weren't offering anything new and exciting. It was the same stuff we could get on every other service, which I think we're running into with any new service that tries to launch right now.
Oh, yeah. So we've talked about failed services. Let's talk about some that actually have hung around for a while. We surveyed over 1,900 of you readers and viewers here, and you guys gave us your most used streaming services. So these are services that you've told us, and no, they will not equal 100% because people subscribe to more than one service. But, and don't mind the ads, thankfully pay Jess and my salary. But 68.6% of you said Amazon Prime Video is what you used. Netflix at 57.6%. Paramount Plus, kind of surprising in third. This one shocked me a little bit, won't lie. 53.1%. Peacock, I can't decide if I'm surprised by this one or not. We'll get to this in a second, Jess. But 51%. Then Hulu, Disney Plus, Max, and Apple TV Plus bringing in the end at 27%. There's a bunch of other ones that just like 2%, 1%, etc. Few things, talking to people. Number one, a lot of people have Amazon Prime Video, not for the video, but because they got the Amazon Prime for free shipping and different things. They got it for that main reason, and then because of that, they sat down and started watching the stuff. And I think Paramount Plus is the same way because you can get Paramount Plus for free with Walmart Plus. Or, actually, a lot of people I don't think still know this, you can upgrade from the ad-supported to the ad-free at a very discounted rate, too, if you're a Walmart Plus subscriber. Peacock, I think, is doing well because of football, different sports. You know, the Summer Olympics really helped them push up their subscribers, and the rest is history. 2 things stand out to me, Jesse. Let me know what you think of this. Number one, people are increasingly taking advantage of services they pay for now. I think it's very possible to stream a ton of content 100% free just by, hey, I already have Amazon Prime. I get my value from that, from the shipping and other things. The streaming is a benefit. Netflix can be free through T-Mobile. Paramount Plus free from Walmart Plus. The list goes on and on. Yeah, you're paying for it, but you're paying for it through things you already subscribe. Disney and other ones, Verizon has deals right now. If you're an internet customer through them or a wireless customer, you can either get it very cheap or free through their discount plans. Oh, Jess, what jumped out at you? What stood out to you to this lineup here?
Honestly, I was shocked that Amazon Prime Video was at the top. I knew a lot of people used it. Like you said, it's kind of a freebie with your subscription anyway, so great. But I need to know, okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, please write in the comments, what are you watching on Amazon Prime Video? Because I open it sometimes and I just kind of...
You're not watching the new Lord of the Rings show?
Okay, listen. I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I'm so sorry. I will. I swear I will. We've talked about this before. 5 years ago, we talked about how I've never seen this. I even scrolled through today because I was kind of surprised about this number, and I just wasn't really finding a whole lot. So someone please tell me, recommend me some shows and movies, something, because I do have Amazon.
You know what I find funny about the Lord of the Rings show? You either love it or absolutely vehemently hate it. It's either too far from the source material or it's amazing. And I can't find anyone in the middle. It seems like. Is there somebody out here? I'm calling the viewers. Is there somebody out here that's just like, I saw it. It was okay. Yeah, I'll watch it again, but, you know, not really a huge fan. Or are you either in the I love it or I hate it with the new Lord of the Rings
Well,
show?
also consider that if you're seeing something online, people love to talk about what they love and what they hate.
Yeah.
I'm not going online to talk about things I'm kind of indifferent about.
You don't give a lukewarm review of something.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's a new series for you, Luke. You can start doing videos about things you feel kind of meh about and call it lukewarm.
Yeah, honestly. Hey.
There you go.
A second, let me get a pen.
Yeah, no one steal that idea.
Yeah. Quick, run to the register office.
Yeah, someone copyright that real quick for us.
Peacock. Now, funny thing here, I wish I could find the story. I was kind of looking for it. I kind of remember there was an interview with the content person at Peacock that said they never intended it to be a sports streaming service.
Interesting, okay.
That it was the 2020 with everything happening. They needed some content because things were pushed back. And they were like, hey, we got some of these sports rights. Let's just kind of throw some sports on there. And it did really well. And then the Olympics happened on them. And now college football, they started with Notre Dame college football exclusive. Then the Big Ten basketball and football are now air some exclusive sports on it. And the list goes on.
Well, also Paramount Plus, March Madness. People want to watch CBS games. So.
Okay, Jess, you're from Ohio. Did you see the lawmaker in Ohio that's trying to get a bill passed to make it illegal for Ohio State football to air on a streaming service?
I did. I have so many feelings about this. Also, first, go Ohio State. Sorry, Luke, you're a Michigan fan.
I'm a Michigan fan, but we've been winning 5 years in a row. I can feel it already this year.
Wow. Okay. We've got a little bit of a rivalry here, everybody. Yeah, I saw that. What are your thoughts on that? I think it's crazy to try to prevent streaming.
I understand from one thing in the bill, and that was the student section. That basically said, historically students had access to the sports from their schools at the big schools. Okay, I went to a state college. It was a great Division III school, won all kinds of championships at the level I was at, Grand Valley State University, Michigan. Very successful sports school. But, it's not on ESPN all the time. Yeah, sometimes, but not that much. But, if you go to Ohio State or Michigan, you're in the last 20-some years, you're kind of used to those games either through the college, because the college gives you TV for free, or from free over there in the local area. So I get the start to say, well, college students should be able to get access to it. If the school is paywalling content, the students should get access to that.
Absolutely.
Beyond that, I think he's just crazy and sounds like somebody who just doesn't want to pay this. Was it? Do you need $7 for the sports plan on Peacock now? Wherever it is.
$7.99, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm not. I think that strikes me as a little bit of a politician that just says, I don't want to pay this. I'll write a bill so no one pays for this.
I would like to propose that all sports are free for everybody to watch.
But only for my teams.
We're seeing this with MLB a little bit, where the teams are trying to get their rights back on free over the air instead of, FanDuel Sports, which I have nothing bad to say about FanDuel Sports. I subscribe. I like it. I watch my sports. I'm happy. But I like the idea of it being free. Yeah,
it's true that, it's interesting because you hear the teams that did move back, they're not making as much money. For all the talk of FanDuel Sports or Valley Sports or Fox Sports, RSN, or whatever it used
let's
to be
go back to 2019 again.
Yeah. Those contracts were struck in a day where the RSNs were more profitable. The television world was very different. And so Major League Baseball, NBA, and NHL teams are making more money from those, even though almost it feels like no one can watch them sometimes, depending on which RSN you're on. What was it? Some of the Denver teams were like almost impossible for a while.
Yeah, you can't watch them in Denver.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But now they're on free over there, but they're not making the same amount of money. So definitely an interesting one. We'll have to watch that very closely. But let's keep moving along. We got a lot to cover here. And we got to talk about some Disney TV shows in a minute. But there's a new streaming player in the works. The FCC has received a filing from Roku asking for permission asking for testing for permission to release a new streaming player. The FCC has to approve it because it uses Wi-Fi and different things that FCC has jurisdiction over. Now, Roku successfully, I always find it funny, sometimes companies, they they could tell the FCC to temporarily like block out pictures of the device or certain descriptions of the device to help kind of protect confidentiality. Often these companies forget something and you get like an exterior photo of something or like a description that's not, but Roku actually did, let me give Roku a round of applause. They actually did a good job blacking out things. But from what we do know is it does appear to be a device consistent with either a Roku Stick or a Roku Express. Those are the two mid and low range Roku streaming players. It's been since 2021 for the Roku streaming stick since they updated it. And the Roku Express, I believe, in 2022. Somebody said it was 2023. I got to go check that. But both are some of the slowest ones Roku sells, both with 1 gig or less of RAM. A lot of speculation that this would be a slightly just improved version with more RAM. Beyond that, you may not see a whole lot new with it. Got to be careful because we're trying to read tea leaves here. But Jess, what do you want to see in a new Roku? What do you hope this is?
I don't have strong opinions about new features I would like to see. I have a Roku Ultra. I love it. It's great. But if we're looking at these kind of lower end models, all I can say is I want something very affordable and very fast. I think that's what people are looking for right now. No one wants to go out and spend $100 on a new streaming player. So give us something cheap and good.
I think the only thing is just a little bit more RAM. I'd love to see it be 2 gigs, which is what most Google TV and most Fire TVs are at. It's 2 gigs now. I think that would be awesome. And it's not a huge deal, but I think that would be a noticeable improvement. I think to just be 100% honest though, Roku, I got the Roku Stick 4K when I travel. I take it to hotels and stuff with me. Honestly, if you don't put them side by side, you're not going to tell a big difference. It does not take a lot of processing power to stream Netflix. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, look at this super powerful high-end streaming player I spent a ton of money on. I'm like, that's great, but when I put it next to another one, you loaded like 2 seconds faster, but that is it. It didn't really load that much faster or make that much of a big difference.
Well, and that's how Roku kind of markets their streaming sticks this is to take on the go. This is your secondary device. It's not for your home entertainment setup. It's to take with you if you're traveling.
Oh, yeah.
Like you going to Disney.
Yeah. Going to Disney, traveling to a convention, meetings. I tell you, every time I go to a hotel, it's so small. I throw on my backpack or my bag, and 99% of the time I can figure out how to get the hotel TV to switch over there, and then I never look at the cable on that TV again.
Yep.
I got really pissed at Disney once. My wife and I, for our 15-year anniversary, rented a room at the Contemporary. We went to Disney just for a couple nights, and they blocked out any access to HDMI ports, and they're like Chromecast built in, right? Awesome. Almost nothing worked with it. Like YouTube, trying to cast YouTube to their own Chromecast, said, oh, security issue, out-of-date Chromecast cannot stream.
Come on, Disney. Luke goes and visits you often enough that you should really take this feedback into consideration.
I mean, I cannot be the only person to try to watch YouTube on that TV. I'm just saying, Disney. But I'll be interested to see what happens here. Now, when will this come out? Pricing, we have no idea on pricing. I would expect it to be roughly the same range as what we're paying for those devices now. Sometimes these clear FCC filings, and this hit the FCC very late in March. Sometimes it's from the time that goes out, within a month or so, we see it be announced. Sometimes it's like 6-7 months down the road. So your guess is as good as mine, but I will get a review unit one way or the other. And review it as soon as I can get my hands on it. All right, speaking of new devices, Walmart has a new on-streaming player, Google TV device here. Several Redditors posted different images here of the Google TV with on. Notice the big free TV button on there that apparently is now required for all new Google TV devices, according to Google. There was one interesting thing. See in the top right-hand corner here? That's a sticky pad, which makes me wonder if this is replacing the $19 4K streaming player. And the reason I say that is also kind of a dongle device. I forget what the Fire TV pendant or whatever they called it. They used to have a dongle device. It's not not a stick. They sell that too. It's not a set-top box. It's just meant to like dangle off the back of your TV. It's too big for a stick, so just a small HDMI cable. But then I'm confused because it doesn't have a small HDMI cable like most dongles. This looks like a 3-foot, 4-foot HDMI cable here. So
maybe it's just being really generous and giving us some options of what we want to do here.
Maybe. You know what's funny is this is randomly appeared at some local Walmarts, and some people bought them and got their hands on it. With that, though, I've been to multiple Walmarts. I actually went again last night to a couple just to check out and be, is it here? And Walmart does this a lot where they don't announce it, it just appears. And I speculate, this is just an informed guess, that what they're doing is they're trying not to upset Google, Roku, Apple, and other competitors because they now have a directly competing device. Yeah, for their smart TVs, mostly run Roku. They used to have on-branded Roku streaming players also. They switched that to Google TV. I think they're not making a big deal of these releases because of the fact that they don't want to upset their partners. And with that, they just kind of drop them out. Because pretty much every streaming player has been this. They start randomly appearing at 1 or 2 Walmarts because somebody in the back got it and didn't know it wasn't supposed to hit the shelves yet. And it's never a Walmart by me, ever.
Well, you guys, Luke didn't listen to me whenever I said just go in and bully them into going back and finding you one of these.
Honestly, what I should do is just walk back there and be like, hey, yeah, I'm from corporate.
Put on a blue polo shirt. No one's going to care.
I have I'm here to check stock. Actually, real funny story about this real quick. Remember when the new Chromecast started to roll out like this? In 2019, they accidentally started putting some of the new Chromecasts out.
Yep.
And somebody bought one, it was like that. And so I went to Best Buy, and it was right there. So I got it, and went up to the counter, and I'm just like, oh yeah, hey, I'm here for this. And the guy, he puts it in, I was thinking bells start going off his computer, and he's like, oh, this isn't supposed to be out. And he goes, oh, I can't tell you this. And I'm like, oh, what? I got cash.
And then Luke ran out of the store.
I know. And the cops are chasing me out. No. He was really nice about it. I told him. He goes, we actually had a store manager here last week or sometime recently. I can't remember if it was like a week or day or whatever. And he said, checking to make sure we had the right ones of these out because apparently Google called very upset at Best Buy over that. So they successfully blocked me from buying that. Even though I had it in my hands, I did stealthily click all kinds of photos of the box and stuff on my phone. But I never have the luck with those.
That's exactly what happened with these new on devices is people apparently got them early and did the same thing, a quick click on the phone, and they were sharing pictures, which is the one that we shared on that post about it. And that's how we've gotten all of this information. Someone posted a picture of the back of it, and I quickly grabbed all of the kind of what's in the box, here are the specs, and we put all of those in the post for you guys to see. And then they were posting them on a website called the Home Tester Club. That's where we saw all these reviews. Now, it's still a little up in the air. Were all of these people testing out the new device, or did some of them have the old device with a very similar name? And they were testing the wrong ones because some people said, I got mine for only $19. Now, was that actually the new device or was that an old version that they have?
Honestly, for the specs, it kind of needs to be about $19 because for $50, though, they have a $49.99. I'm sorry. I could see the comments. They have a much more powerful Pro version. It's actually a really nice streaming player for the dollar. So we'll watch this, but I will, again, have full reviews as soon as I can find a Walmart that actually has it. I've also been, like, every morning checking Walmart.com because that's how I got it last time is it just popped up there. But for everybody who emailed me is saying you found it, I wish I could find it.
Yeah, send them our way. Come on, guys. Yeah.
All right, let's keep moving along here because there's a few stories we got to touch on I think are going to take some time. 5G could be killing free ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC as ATSC 3.0 and 5G start a format war. So at issue here is the fact that some local TV station owners want to replace their ATSC 3.0, which is the new over-the-air signal, or even the ATSC 1.0, stop broadcasting in that type of standard and move their broadcast of free TV to 5G, which will effectively kill free TV. A few things here. There are no TVs with 5G tuners built in right now. They don't exist. This is another new standard. Think Blu-ray and HD DVDs. Think Nintendo NES versus Sega Genesis. These are competing standards that both kind of do the same thing. They'll deliver a signal to your TV. The problem being is they both have downsides. 5G, one of the big problems there is no one has a tuner for your TV in that. Some phones do. And then the other one is the fact that with this, ATSC 3.0, a lot of people have really been hesitant about it. The DRM that a lot of people don't like. The issues with DVRs, a lot of the restrictions on it versus what people became accustomed to with their Tableau and HD home runs, DVRs to name a few. So both of these have downsides. Let me get that out right now. But if we find ourselves in a position where some TV station owners go to 5G broadcasting and some go to ATSC 3.0, I think it'll be even harder for people to convince or TV stations to convince people to upgrade. This comes as the local TV stations, the National Association of Broadcasters, which represents all these major players out there, is asking the FCC to set a firm deadline for when the current 1.0 standard, the standard that probably you use at home if you have an antenna, the standard that most TVs have, to sunset in the next 3 to 5 years kind of time frame. Also, to force TV manufacturers to put them in, that's important. I'll get to that in a minute, as they want to shut down the current over-the-air free broadcasts. Problem being, LG, one of the big companies behind this, they got sued and decided and lost from a company who says they have a patent in ATSC 3.0. So LG, it's LG, right? I think it's LG, stopped including ATSC 3.0 tuners in their new TVs. Others, I've been told, are very hesitant. You notice there's no Roku televisions with ATSC 3.0 at all. I can't confirm this, but there's been speculation they're worried about a lawsuit related to that. So are we about to see a massive format war putting customers in the middle? Are you going to need 2 different tuners for your antenna to get different stations in where you live? That's
insane, first of all. I'm on team less equipment, make things easy, please. And as we all know now, I'm on a crusade for free TV for everybody. I'm also just thinking about people like my mom, who is not tech savvy, and she wants to turn on her TV and watch TV. No one wants to have to hook up extra devices and finagle some kind of situation just to be able to watch ABC. Come on. So this is awful news, in my opinion.
I love free over the television. I get over 50 free channels where I live. Use it all the time. But you know what? Let's be honest. If you don't have sports, why most people are just going to things like Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, often have that bundled into something else they already pay for free. There's so many, if you're watching stuff with commercials, Tubi, the Roku channel, Pluto TV, the list goes on and on and on. There's so much free content out there. I think they run a real risk of becoming redundant. Because let's be honest, if you're a sports fan, the days of watching all your sports on over-the-air television is gone. You need streaming services. So you're probably already ending up with something like Fubo or the Roku, or excuse me, not the Roku channel. Some sports are on the Roku channel. YouTube TV, Hulu Plus Live, Sling, and others. Again, it goes back to, at that point, why have an antenna? If you want a bunch of the small channels like Me TV Tunes and stuff, you can go get Friendly or Philo. There's just so many options, very cheap, that if you're telling me I need to go upgrade my TV that I just bought a year ago, that's got all the bells and whistles, it was $1,000+ to get your station, I probably would say, yeah, maybe there's something else to watch it.
Yeah, no, thank you. And that's the problem too, is that they are including that tuner in some TVs, but only the higher end models that cost much more money, because it is expensive for these companies to add it. So the lower end models aren't getting it. And so if you buy a TV right now, will you have to upgrade? Well, have to upgrade in a couple of years. People don't want to.
Now, interestingly, the high-end TV, I did a story about that, talking about that. There are a couple, let me just be very honest, a couple cheaper, sub $500 TVs. But it's kind of one of those things that you kind of have to hunt for them. Because I think you walk into Walmart, I was just in there yesterday looking for this, but I checked out the TVs. Some great TVs, like a 65-inch TV for $300, 4K, all the bells and whistles, 50-inch TV, Roku TVs with 4K HDR for like $200 and different options. Those don't have ATSC 3.0, and I guarantee you those are the majority of TVs being sold.
Right. And someone like you or I would think to look for that, but the average person going in to find a cheap TV is not going to be checking. Yeah,
no. And that's the problem. I think everybody was on board with ATSC 3.0. I think people loved the idea of 4K. They loved all the, one of the great things is it's going to be able to bring you more channels than the older version. The problem being now, though, is they started doing, I think, really dumb things. They rushed out DRM. Now, hey, I love the people behind it, smart people. I think that was a dumb move. Let me be clear on that. To rush out the DRM when many of the devices in the market weren't prepared to support the DRM. I wish I had one more year of working with their device partners to make sure that DRM rollout was smooth and painless. Could have really helped their public image a lot there.
Right. And they should have taken the time to make it more cost effective for the companies, which makes it more cost effective for consumers.
Yeah. And that cloud, they got to do something to resolve this cloud of that lawsuit that LG lost. I think a lot of television makers are looking at this like, okay, FCC, if you're going to force us, because remember, TV station owners want the FCC to force television manufacturers to include this new tuner. I'm sure many of those companies are saying, hey, what's my protection here? You're telling me I have to do this. LG just lost their shirt over here on this, and they walked away from the standard because of it. I don't know. I struggle. I think free over-the-air television with an antenna is one of the best resources for cord cutters.
Absolutely.
And more people need to take advantage of it. But I think they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with some of this.
I agree. And I did just double check our story. We were talking about the dates. And the plan would be for 70% of households, top 55 markets, to switch over to ATSC 3.0 by February 2028. And then the second phase would be all remaining markets by February 2030.
So between 3 and 5 years, depending on where you live. Hey, that was pretty good off the top of my head.
Yeah, nice job.
I'll take that. I usually get it way around. I usually say something like, yeah, you got about a year. And then we look it up and it's like, no, wait. No, you got 10 years. So we'll watch this. NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters, big convention, which we usually go to, did not this year, just changing it up a little bit. Really, I was kind of shocked. Not a huge amount of ATSC 3.0 news. There was some. There's that new tuner, which is meant to plug into a Google TV or a Fire TV branded smart TV and through the USB port. Beyond that, not a whole lot of news. I think they're waiting for the FCC. I think TV manufacturers are waiting on this lawsuit. And I think customers are waiting to see if they want to bother upgrading, to be honest with you.
Agreed.
All right, let's keep moving into something fun. All right. We are not just a tech podcast, folks. We are an entertainment podcast.
We are two grown adults who are about to talk about Disney cartoons.
I want to know. Okay. These are called Toon Disney lists. These are cartoons that aired on Toon Disney. These are cartoons that also aired in other places, different stuff. I think there's some, just right off the bat, let's rank these from the greatest to they're absolute trash in our personal opinions. I have a few I got to put down here at the top right off the bat. Just tell me if I'm wrong.
What happens if you put one on the top and I disagree with you because I have some hot takes and I'm ready to go?
I win. Because I got the mouse.
That's fair. You also give me my paycheck, so yes, I will defer to you. Sure.
All right. Here's what we'll do. Every other one, if we disagree, we'll go back and forth on it. So once it'll be mine. Okay. And then the next time you'll overrule me.
Okay, let me zoom in a little bit here. All right. I'm ready.
All right. So DuckTales. I have to say, there's 3 of these I absolutely have to immediately make my number one. DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Garfield and Friends. Okay,
you're going big with picking 3 all at the same time. That's interesting.
All right. Am I wrong? Is there anything on that list that you would say are awful and should be not as good?
Again, controversial opinion. I hate Garfield. I know. You can yell at me.
Nice having you back, Jess. It's been a while, but...
I'm out. Fired. It's been a really good month. Thank you so much for having me back. No, if you disagree with me, this is the only thing I'm willing to take constructive criticism on. You can tell me that my opinion of cartoons is awful in the comments. That's fine.
All right, where would you put Garfield? All right, where would Garfield go on this?
Honestly, mediocre at best.
Mediocre? All right, I'm going to put this under good. I will say, of those three, DuckTales and Darkwing Duck are higher in my mind.
Agreed. Darkwing Duck, best theme song.
I will say, though, Garfield and Friends, so 90s Luke, growing up, going to high school, middle school, and later elementary and all that, I would often watch Garfield and Friends in the morning before school.
Okay.
And it was on two different channels. I think it was like Fox and then like UPN or something like I can't remember what channel. But they would air it in the morning, and then you would flip to the other one, and immediately after the first Garfield would air, on a different channel, they would immediately air the next one. So
you were chasing Garfield.
I would watch two Garfield channels. And you know why? I used to watch G.I. Joe in the morning, and then they replaced it with Garfield. You know where it was? I think G.I. Joe used to be on USA Network or something, and they took it off there at that time or moved it. One point, they moved it to like 5 a.m., and I was tempted to get up early, and that didn't happen.
So your love for sleep outweighed your love for Garfield.
Or G.I. Joe. It was close.
Okay, got it.
All right, so we got a bunch here, but let's go with a few more classics. Doug, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Tailspin. Any of these stand out to you, Jess?
Doug is one of my all-time favorites. I can sing an entire song by The Beats, the band from Doug. I won't do it now. You're welcome, everybody, but I could.
Well, only because of copyright, or I would have you do it.
I would put it under, I would say excellent.
Excellent. I can do that.
Okay.
I like Doug. My brother loved Doug growing up.
Okay, see, your brother and I, same page.
Watch it all the time. He could probably tell you every episode by name.
Yeah. We'll get together and start a Beats cover band, maybe.
There we go. All right. What else on this list jumps out to you, Jess?
Okay, let me see. Let me look through my list here. Okay, I have a question for you. This is not so much a comment as a question. What is the Gummy Bear cartoon? Is that just some product placement business?
Yeah, basically. But it's really nothing to do with the food you eat, kind of. But
really?
I remember it. Okay, people remind me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it a CBS show? I think it was a CBS show in like 80s, 90s, somewhere in there. And it ended up on Toon Disney. Okay. I did not watch it. I mean, I've seen it, but I would have to put don't remember.
We can put it in don't remember, but I would love for anyone who is a super fan of this Gummy Bear show to please explain yourselves, because I have so many questions.
All right, one more from you, Jess, then I'll take a few.
Let's see. I want to put Recess somewhere close to the top. I love that show.
Oh, no, where's Recess?
Have you seen it?
I have, but again, not one I watched a lot.
There
it is. Where would you put it?
I'm putting that under excellent also.
Excellent.
Such a fan.
It is a classic to this day. I hear a lot. I randomly see memes of it pop up on social media.
That was a solid Saturday morning cartoon for me.
I have one, and this goes along Darkwing Duck, that I'm kind of bummed that Disney and all the remakes, I know Darkwing Duck has kind of reappeared briefly in the DuckTales reboot. Mm-hmm. Gargoyles.
Okay, yeah.
It's not an S, but I'll say it's a very high A for me.
We're not going to give it the GOAT status.
Not there.
Okay.
It's a very high A. It was a great story, well made, and it was darker. I kind of wish the Batman animated series was on this list, but that doesn't qualify, because that would be, it's kind of darker like that, but not that. That would be a solid S, no question.
This was Luke's emo cartoon phase when he was watching Batman and Gargoyles. So
throwing that up there, solid A, folks. Leave me a comment, let me know. Am I crazy? Yes, I am crazy, but not about that. And then I gotta get, this is tough, so in my order of loved, there's two here that have very similar places in my mind.
Okay.
Tailspin.
Yeah.
Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers.
Okay.
I can't decide which one I want to do next. That's the tough thing. I'm going to lean into Tailspin.
Podcast is about tough decisions.
It is. I tell you, it is a tough one. So, Tailspin.
Okay.
Good story. Great character development. just fun. I mean, the theme song, if I played it here, it's stuck in your head all week. Just going to happen to you folks. I don't know, Jess, were you a Tailspin fan?
I don't remember much of it, so I guess not. I do remember the characters. Now that I'm seeing the picture, yes.
I'm going to drop this as a solid A.
Great.
Not as high as Gargoyle.
I'll take it.
Solid A. All right, Jess, what do you got here?
Okay, I'm going Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ooh, so I did not watch this one.
Really? Okay.
Where are you going to put this?
Since you haven't seen it, I really liked it. I'm going to say good.
Good? I remember it, and I remember it being good, which is funny because I went from NES to Sega Genesis, so I was a Team Sonic.
Okay.
But not the TV show, apparently.
Yeah, loved the game, loved the cartoon.
All right, what else you got here?
Okay, let me see what we've got left here. Oh, okay, another amazing theme song. I'm choosing mine based only on theme songs. I'm realizing now I'm going Kim Possible.
Ooh, okay. Where we got her?
I would love to give that an A.
All right.
So good.
Didn't they talk about a live action Kim Possible? Did that ever happen?
I don't know. I wonder. It was Christy Carlson Romano was the voice of Kim Possible, and I could see her coming back for a live action.
I can see it. All right, let's run through here a few real quick. Okay, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, again, solid A. Again, theme song, stuck in your head, ain't your rivet. That gets me up there for me.
Do you have any that you would put low on the list? I'm looking and I'm not really seeing any that I really strongly disliked other than Garfield.
I'm trying to remember. This is the Goofy, not the TV show, but the or not the movie, but the TV show. And I think this is it. I'm going to put it at mediocre.
Yeah, agreed. Love the movie.
By the way, 30 years old. Have you watched the documentary that they just released on Disney Plus yet about it?
No, I had no idea.
They just released a documentary on it. And if you go to YouTube, everybody, the voice of Max and the voice of Goofy, they got a car that looked just like the car from the show and put all the stuff on top of it and stuff. And they drove it. And you kind of watch it, you kind of feel like they're on a studio where they're just playing a video behind them, like they're pretending to drive it. Mm-hmm. But the two guys who did the voices talked about it on the YouTube video. I have not watched the documentary, but the YouTube video was A+ effort by Disney to really kind of hone that in. So,
amazing. Well, that's our homework before the next one. We have to watch the documentary. Did you just say that it's 30 years old, that cartoon?
Yeah. Are you sitting down?
I am feeling very old right now.
30 years old. I have another one, The Mighty Ducks. I watched the movies. I loved it.
Yeah.
Turned on the TV show and said, "What is this?"
Yeah, awful. Trash.
What else would be awful? I think I was too old for this. I think I just aged out. Mickey Mouse House of Mouse.
House of Mouse? You know what? I hate mice, so just on principle, I'm saying no thank you.
I'm dropping right there. I don't know anything else on this list. I'm kind of a bunch of the Aladdin I didn't care for. I don't even know what this guy is. The like cat tail orange thing. I remember hating his show.
Where is that one? I'm not even seeing it.
It may be like his.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, I forget what that one was called. I can't remember, but not liking it.
So not memorable. Trash.
Yep, apparently not. And the rest. So those are the ones that jumped out at me. Anything on this list still that we got to throw up here that you want to add to it?
We better put Madeline somewhere on there. Third row, third one, fourth one over.
This one right here?
Yeah, we better put that up high somewhere.
Where you want it?
At least good.
You want good or excellent? You got to make a decision.
I would like to say excellent. I wanted to say she taught me French. That is a absolute lie. I'm remembering little bits of phrases.
All right, there is one show on here, really two shows, if I could add any that my growing up watched all the time. Batman the Animated Series.
Sure.
We talked about would be a solid S. Number two, not animated. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh,
the game show.
No, great show.
S. Off the bat, just for the band.
Agreed. And also, wait, one quick thing. There's no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on here.
Ooh. Again, these are ones that aired on Toon Disney.
Some of these are Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm outraged. I'm really unhappy about this. Anyway.
According to this, from 1998 to 2009, these aired on Toon Disney. And were also part of Disney Afternoon, one Saturday morning at ABC, and Disney Channel Jetix content. So Jetix content and Disney XD not included. Now, yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the real Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of good content here.
Good.
But yeah, here's one too. Winnie the Pooh. I don't think I really watched this one. I remember I accidentally dropped it. I remember the live action / cartoon one that Disney Channel used to do a long time ago.
Live action Winnie the Pooh?
Well, it had like segments of people in like costumes and stuff moving around.
I hate that.
Early Disney Channel stuff.
I really don't like that at all.
Buzz Lightyear, I don't remember that one. A lot of these I don't really
Yeah, there's
remember.
one about Mary-Kate and Ashley. Like, what are we doing here?
They were everywhere, folks. If you did not grow up in the 90s, you do not understand 90s to 2000. It was really weird. Remember when they turned 18 and it was like national news?
Yeah, well, they're the same age as me. We're like a month apart in age. No one looked that up. You don't need to know how old I am. But wow, I wanted
to... hold on. Is there any proof? Because they've kind of vanished that you are not one of them and you were not on.
Who's to say?
Okay.
Who is to say?
Because you're trying to tie it there. I thought that was like a hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. No, they literally, remember, like, I feel like every 6 weeks they dropped a straight to VHS movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For a while.
They were all so good.
Oh, yeah, excellent. Top A line. I'm going to give them props. A lot of people gave them trouble for not going back to the reboot of what was called Fuller House.
No, if I had billions of dollars from my time as a child star, you better believe you would never see me again.
Well, but I give them props too to just say, we loved it, but that's just not who we are anymore. We're in a different spot in our lives, and I get it, because it would be very tempting to just sell yourself out on keep pumping stuff out.
Nope, just sit at home and be rich. It's fine.
All right, one last child star that reminds me of Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Have you seen him recently? He's kind of come back a little bit. By the way, he still looks like he's 12 and will be in the movie.
Absolutely, yeah. And then his brother, who is in Succession.
Oh, is his brother in it?
Yeah.
I have not seen it. I've seen YouTube clips, but I've not watched it.
Kieran Culkin? That sounds right.
Have you ever seen the Angry Video Game Nerd on YouTube?
No.
Okay. It's a series. It's kind of one of the OG YouTubes from the late 2000s. He reviews old like NES, SNES, whatever video games as a very angry, upset person.
Okay.
It's a character. The guy's actually an amazingly nice person, but gets really into it. Macaulay Culkin apparently was a big fan, and when they reviewed all the old Home Alone video games, he came and guest starred in the episode.
Amazing.
Very funny. He guest starred as the pizza delivery boy.
Amazing.
And wore the costume and everything, and yeah.
Perfect. No notes. Good job, Macaulay.
So check that out on YouTube. Would recommend it. It's worth the 20 minutes the video is. But yeah, so anything else you want to do, but we'll move on here. I think we got a good list.
Yeah, I have no strong opinions about anything else here.
All right, folks on YouTube. How much of an idiot are we?
How dare you?
How dare do we have Mighty Ducks down in trash?
Does anyone else agree with me that Garfield was just not that great?
Honestly, I would still crank him up here to close S.
Strongly agree. Those of you who have been around for a while know about my hatred of the Charmin bears and those commercials. I'm putting Garfield on the same level as the Charmin bear commercials.
How can you do that? That's insulting.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Trash.
All right, we'll have to have a fight about this later.
Yeah, I'm fired. It's fine. You'll never see me again, guys. So sorry.
This is first episode of the Push Play podcast. New host next week. No, we're not getting rid of Jess. What are we watching? I have discovered, if you didn't know, it's the post we did on CoreCarsNews.com. Chips. Okay. Going back to me waking up in the morning, I remember being very young and stay off from school. Okay, I want to say it was on the USA Network. Somebody correct me, maybe it was TNT. But watching Chips and thinking it was the coolest show ever when I grew up. What year was it? 1978 first came out, ran for 6 seasons, had some changes in the lead actors throughout here and there. But awesome show. Loved it. Fun thing. Interesting little note. Apparently, never once did the lead stars pull their weapons during the entire run of the show. They would put their hand on it like, okay, yeah, we mean business, but never actually pull it. Wildly popular for the time. Several other shows like it, but nothing in my mind has quite lived up to the original Chips. But we're not going to talk about that 1990s reboot movie. That is just, was it Chips 99, I think it was?
If you watched it, you are the only one.
It's kind of like the Knight Rider reboot movies.
Yeah.
Did you know there was actually multiple other series after the original Knight Rider?
No, and I don't think anyone else did either.
Yeah, let me save you real quick. Don't. Just don't. But Chips, streaming with Amazon Prime Video included for all you people who, like me, got the Prime for the shipping and all the other stuff.
Yep.
There you go. All right, Jess, what do you have? What have you been watching?
I have been watching The Handmaid's Tale. New season just came out on Hulu.
Is it good? Like, thumbs up, down?
I love that show so much. Also, new season of Black Mirror just landed on Netflix. We just posted about that this morning. Haven't started the new season yet, but I'm hearing great things.
You know, I'm also watching Full Swing on Netflix right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm a golf guy. I love golf. And I find it really interesting. They've done a really good job of getting backstage access. I always wonder how real it is, but it's been a lot of fun to see some of the behind-the-scenes side of golf. Love to see more. You know, I don't think it's a hard knock style because it's less a little bit about golf, though you see some of them on the course of different things. It's more about these golfers, these people behind the scenes, and each episode follows a different group of golfers.
Nice.
So you get an episode on one person, which is nice because you don't kind of get boring of it because each one is different. And it's like, oh yeah, this episode's a little bit more interesting, or that person had more going on, or different things. But 2 thumbs up. The new season's out. I haven't finished it, but it's really good. Not as good as Last Chance U. I would just, or Netflix. I almost said Disney. Netflix, bring back Last Chance U. But I'm sure NIL, it's probably harder now.
All right, let us know down in the comments. What are you watching right now? Do you have recommendations for us? We're not spending enough time watching TV already. We need more.
We'll probably stop producing more content on the site so we can watch more content on our TVs.
Agreed.
All right, everybody, let's wrap this up. This has been fun. I've really enjoyed it. The push play, right? That's what we agreed on with Luke and Jess?
We just decided 2 minutes before we started recording this, guys. So if you hate the name, give us another suggestion, I guess.
Yeah. But again, we're not just going to cover cord cutting in this. We're going to talk a lot about just entertainment in general. So I hope everybody has a fantastic day. We'll be back again next week. We're releasing this one on a Thursday. Don't promise it's going to be a regular Thursday event. But for now, enjoy the show. Have fun. I'll see you tomorrow for a cord cutting today, but we'll see you next week sometime for another podcast. Take care, everybody.